The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Meet Louis Tumanero. He's a firearms restoration expert that truly believes every gun has a story to tell and a unique connection to the person who owns it. That's why each week, the Gunfather team is going to restore a firearm submitted by you back to its original glory. This is the Gunfather Restorations.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Good evening. I'm Mary Silla Kelaton. Thanks for joining us. You're watching TV1 News. In this edition, PM apologizes for deferral. SME challenges at Resources Week. And tuna to rep PNG. Member for Abao Sepukatemu raised questions surrounding the deferral of local level government elections in Parliament today. He said the prolonged LNG election shows a lack of government preparedness.
Abao MP Sepukatemu questioned the deferral of LNG elections in Parliament today, saying it is concerning and illustrates the lack of preparedness and commitment by the government. Sepuka reflected on a broader frustration shared by many regarding the political process that impact grassroots representation and decision-making in Papua New Guinea. He said the postponement of LNG elections can have several implications, including a potential disruption in local leadership, a gap in representation for communities, and challenges in implementing crucial local policies and initiatives. Sepuka's emphasis on the government's lack of preparedness suggests that there may be issues related to the electoral framework, funding, or logistical planning that need to be addressed to ensure smooth electoral processes in the future. Furthermore, his comments could resonate with constituents who may feel disenfranchised by the delays. Prime Minister James Marape, when responding, defended the government, stating that the LNG elections issues was a result of lack of proper planning of the elections in 2017. He said the government has taken this on board and assures that it will deliver the elections. Local governance is vital for effective service delivery and community engagement, and prolonged periods without elections can undermine public confidence in the political system. Sepuka recommended that a need for electoral reforms, better planning, and increased government accountability must be done to address this issue. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
The Prime Minister also apologized to all candidates in the local level government elections for the deferral of polling.
Prime Minister James Marape has admitted to the government's unpreparedness in conducting the local level government elections in the country. While responding to questions surrounding these, he also apologized to all candidates contesting in the LLG elections. The Prime Minister also admitted that with the 6 by-election running alongside the LLG elections, the government is facing challenges with resources to conduct the elections. He also acknowledged the disappointment of candidates and the broader implications for democratic participation at the local level. His acknowledgement of the situation could also pave the way for enhanced engagement with local leaders and communities to address their needs and concerns as they await the rescheduling of the elections. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
Papua New Guinea's fisheries sector is entering a new era of cooperation and trade with China. A series of high-level meetings and agreements were held in Guangzhou, marking major strides in research collaboration, seafood exports, and cold storage infrastructure. Here's more on this developing partnership.
Papua New Guinea has moved closer to sealing a landmark agreement with China that will enhance marine cooperation and boost the country's fisheries sector. In Guangzhou, Fisheries Minister Jota Wong led discussions with China's Ministry of Natural Resources focused on joint marine research, capacity building, disaster management, and conservation of coastal areas. The proposed Memorandum of Understanding is expected to be signed during PNG's 50th independence anniversary and will support strategic growth of institutions like the National Fisheries College and the Nago Island Research Center. In a key trade development, the National Fisheries Authority signed a cooperation agreement with the Guangzhou Aquatic Products Chamber of Commerce.
The government, through the National Fisheries Authority, has brought one of the biggest markets, if not the biggest, closer to the doorstep of our people, who can now directly participate in making sure that they get the best value from their fisheries or from their resources. And all the supply chain investment that we have been investing in over the last couple of years. So this is a culmination of 6 years of hard work, and I'm finally glad to announce that we can now deliver this to our people.
The deal opens the door for direct seafood exports from PNG to China, eliminating the need to route products through third countries such as Hong Kong and Singapore. The agreement allows PNG's earliest signing of a trade protocol agreement in 2019, enabling market access under China's strict import standards. 18 PNG companies are now registered to export frozen, dried, and live seafood directly to Chinese markets. Adding to the momentum, a state-of-the-art fisheries cold storage and distribution facility was launched in Guangzhou. It includes a 16,000-ton capacity and live seafood breeding tanks to supply products such as tuna, lobster, mud crab, and deep-sea fish. Located near the Huangsha Seafood Market, which sees an annual turnover of over $12 billion, the equivalent of approximately 45.6 billion kina. The facility links PNG directly to a high-demand consumer base. Regular commercial flights and advanced cold chain logistics in Guangzhou make it a prime location for efficient export. The partnership is expected to deliver long-term benefits for Papua New Guinea, expanding trade, supporting education and employment, and reinforcing sustainable marine development under the country's Blue Economy Strategy. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
10 heads of state and governments will be attending the country's 50th independence anniversary in Port Moresby. Prime Minister James Marape confirmed during a press conference on Tuesday afternoon at the National Parliament House.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is among other heads of state attending the country's 50th anniversary in Port Moresby. Prime Minister James Marape confirmed Tuesday that 10 heads of state will be attending the event this September. Speaking during a press conference to mark the remaining 50 days to the September 16th celebration, the Prime Minister confirmed that New Zealand Prime Minister will be coming to Papua New Guinea next week for a visit and to give his apologies that he will not be attending on September 16. The announcement is a notable highlight for the event, as this level of participation from international dignitaries not only highlights the significance of the anniversary but also reflects the country's relationships with other nations. It provides an opportunity for PNG to showcase its culture, achievements, and progress over the past 5 decades. The Prime Minister also announced that the month of August is dedicated to churches to stage lead-up events to September 16.
A lot of activities happening towards the 16th. I want to appeal to our country, 50 days on now. And very soon we'll be going to the month of August. The month of August is an important month where the churches will be taking lead throughout our country. And I want to point the nation that the nationhood we have today must be appreciated and must be celebrated. And fasting first, putting God first. Matthew 6 verse 33 says, put God first and everything else will be okay. I want to ask our citizens, wherever you are, as your number one servant, I can find no other place to go first than going back to God, to the basics.
The 50th anniversary celebration is likely to feature parades, cultural performances, speeches, activities that emphasize national pride and unity. It also represents a moment for reflection on the country's history, challenges, and future aspirations. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
We'll have more news stories after the break. Stay with us.
Mama. You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up and big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Open net.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever.
Yes!
From small dreams to big possibilities. One Top Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
special dedication ni dole dumi ol katalo ya. Kotok pilu papa mama. Gau ga prema.
Outstanding.
Welcome back. The Simbu provincial government has taken a bold step under the Take Back Kundiawa initiative, relocating the betel nut market from the town centre to a newly constructed site at Wara Simbu.
In an effort to improve Kundiawa's image and restore order to the provincial capital, all betel nut vendors in and around the town have been ordered to relocate to the newly built Wara Simbu betel nut market. Governor Noah Cool says the move is just one of several ongoing initiatives aimed at transforming the town.
I'm not Chinese from white money companies here. Why you will see the city stuff? We're going to challenge the big challenge, but you and I, we can do it. Together we can do it. We believe in this plan because you got everything. You got power God. You got all something behind you. You can walk him. And the money we can realize it for the next 50 years. People like in town, they must sanist.
Simbu Provincial Administrator John Punde backed the governor's vision, urging communities to take ownership.
Give me some of challenges, Blimi finish. Plus Blimi mountain. Population have increased at a rate that is now uncontrollable. Now, town, anytime you go to town now, by your president, Zilla Tokto was no utmost space, no by me, or anything. But within these challenges, we must look within, so how to address it. Now, work for government and ensure that we must create him, or call him, conducive environment, or one plus space where even over a man must walk from one time.
Police have now enforced a strict ban on selling or buying betel nut in Kundiawa town. Provincial Police Commander Mazuk Rubiang issued a clear warning.
Be talking to no market of town, be imposing bail suppose police arrest people market of town 500 kilo. 500 kilo talks have million. Put in over have a Kundiawa town or some. You market of town or you street sellers 500 kilo on top. By no bail. By the right to go 4,000 man of only a 40 connecting you, but you must pay 1,000 kilo, no you must go carry 6 kilo.
Authorities say the relocation aims to reduce overcrowding, littering, and allow for road and business expansions in town. The success of this relocation now depends on community cooperation and continued enforcement by police and town authorities. Carol Kiru Jr., TVWAN News.
Panu Shopping Centre is the biggest shopping centre in Madang town currently. It was launched on Sunday, July 27, after 11 years of construction. The government and people of Madang expect great economic benefits, including job opportunities. The investment is a partnership between Golden Hill Enterprise, Shinogain Trading, and the Madang local level government. The shopping centre boasts a one-stop shop experience with quality imports from Dubai and at affordable prices as well.
The people of Madang have their eyes and ears peeled for when Panu Shopping Centre will be opened. The 11-year construction has finally ended, and a launch over the weekend marks economic benefits including employment opportunities. Vice President of the Madang Chamber of Commerce, Chris Sito, said it is not just a commercial venture, but a symbol of progress, resilience, and shared belief in the future of Madang town and the province.
As some supporter belong entrepreneurship, I would like to take this moment to acknowledge the hands and efforts that made today possible, to the investors who believe, the developers and contractors who worked tirelessly, the government authorities who supported this effort, and the local partners who stood by the vision. Thank you all for your support. Your collective commitment has brought this dream to life at the dawn of our 50th anniversary.
The vision of establishing this one-stop shop belongs to Johnny Macau, a longtime resident of Madang. Macau has been involved in many community development work with individuals, business houses, and the government. His dream for Panu Shopping Center came about through discussions with Nick Chu of Shinogen Trading. Madang District Administrator Albert Ului commended Mr. Macau and Mr. Chu for bringing in new development into the province. He assured Mr. Macau that they will continue to work in partnership to bring about change and development in the province.
We play look savelo Johnny, time when we come inside Lomereng, and we stand up backside also Manbla. Papa Blo, you mean as place Lomereng, especially the public 7. Time no good blood time, Johnny and say stop. Plenty heavy where government system alright yet, money system blong, province alright yet, no got narapla guardian you say go long and Johnny that's all.
The shop is built near the main market area. Most of its stock has not arrived yet. Panu Shopping Center is expected to give shoppers a one-stop shop experience. The two-story shop will have a range of household hardware, technological and consumable items. Mr. Chu said it will open in a couple of weeks' time.
The PNG Floriculture Association Inc. proudly launched its 12th annual flower show at the PNG National Museum in Port Moresby yesterday. The one-week program is running under the theme Where Flowers Tell a Story. It is open to the public from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. A variety of artistic, agricultural and cultural flowers will be on display.
The National Museum and Art Gallery in Port Moresby is buzzing with colorful and artistic displays of floral arrangements of all kinds. The 12th Flower Show, hosted annually by the PNG Floriculture Association, is running this year's event under the theme Where Flowers Tell a Story. These stories are of the challenges and successes of its participants and the experiences in growing and selling flowers. There are 15 stalls at the flower show. This year's event welcomes participants from Northern Province, Goroka in Eastern Islands, and Mount Again in Western Islands, and the rest are growers in the nation's capital. Throughout the week, show organizers will do daily demonstrations on soil mixing, plant identification, and naming. The aim is to provide support to growers with practical knowledge and tools, while celebrating growth through foliage and art design competitions, notably judged only on leaves and heart setup this year.
All the arrangements we all gonna compete long all about leaves that's all. No got him all blooms or leaves that's also. Mipla got him desla na mipla also got him stall set up. By looking desla what mipla la you see me mipla put him up all arches. You can look him all get a stall, some only got him all arch belong also. Desla part of a stall setup and one black criteria where mipla award him all prices too.
Challenges remain, especially with rising prices and limited access to consistent supply. But growers are adapting with a renewed focus on native varieties and strategic planting.
Back then in 2009, we miss a struggle of finding more markets now. Got in plenty of events now, but after that, you may come now and plenty of events come up now. Demand, the cut flowers here and go big plus red. So now we are looking for some quantity where we plus emphasizing long association quantity and quality and drop now. Like for example, like before, passing all helicones lo 5 plus 6 plus kaino sa mo salim lo tukina now no got all passing 3 plus or 2 plus mo salim lo tukina. So some of the challenges we are really facing now. So we no sabe, but what we are encouraging all farmers also depend long area we all stop long so local planning plan is something, but just one type of plant that's all we all can supply in bulk na at least all customers allow must accept.
Lantaka says this year marks a renewed commitment to honor its woman's journey and inspire a bigger, bolder future. She said next year they will prepare something bigger and better. This year's arts competition will evolve into more creative stall setups. So by next year, when they gather for the 13th flower show, it will be on a whole new level. Joanna Violet, TVWAN News.
Small and medium-sized enterprises in Papua New Guinea face a wide array of structural, financial, regulatory, and environmental challenges. These barriers constrain their growth, sustainability, and transition from the informal to the formal economy. The 2025 PNG Resources Week today facilitated dialogue on how SMEs are built in the country, underscoring the countless challenges they also face. Access to finance and high cost of credit, poor infrastructure and logistics, skills gaps and human capital constraints, regulation, bureaucracy, and tax compliance, and market access are among challenges hindering the establishment and growth of small and medium enterprises across Papua New Guinea. The 2025 PNG Resources Week today facilitated dialogue on how SMEs are built in the country, underscoring the countless challenges they also face. The PNG Investment Promotion Authority stated that although challenges exist, reforms are being carried out to ensure businesses are able to overcome some of the hindrances to their operations and growth.
Business and regulatory processes. So we for the last 3-4 years, we hosted 2 regulator summit and basically aim to bring the regulators to discuss how we can find synergies, harmonize the regulations so doing business in PNG can become easier, cheaper, and faster, and it's productive to business and economic growth. So pursue our share of reforms in our space to do business registration, certain amendments to our legislations that we have. We continue to streamline and promote the reform agenda.
Pacifund CEO Des Yaninen revealed that 90% of SMEs fail in the first 5 years. Reducing this failure rate is critical.
There was a statistic that was done in 2012. We were studying all the businesses that were owned in Papua New Guinea, and that statistic, it was in the SME policy. It showed that 60% of all businesses in PNG were owned by people from the Highlands region. The remaining 40% was split evenly among Omase, Southern Region, and NGI. So this is, what do they do differently? Is this thing here called supportive networks. Culturally, the people from the Highlands region are able to do it better than the people from the coast.
However, the PNG SME policy highlights that there is support available. Through improving SME access to affordable finance with credit guarantees and simplified application processes, investing in infrastructure, transport, and digital connectivity, enhancing financial literacy and vocational training, and simplifying business formalization and tax compliance, an area which the IPA is taking the charge in. These interventions exist, although challenges remain in implementation and awareness. We'll now have a look at the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2414 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2339 $0.3558 Australian dollars, $0.1937 euro, and 34.40 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa, palm oil, and crude oil closed higher, gold closed lower, and copper closed the day unchanged. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed lower. TV1 News continues with original stories when we come back.
We've been
champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
How would you describe your mother?
My mom is beautiful.
She is strong like Superman.
I love my mom because she always takes care of me.
My mom, she's so patient and loving. I feel she's always around.
Caring. She works so hard and always wants the best for me.
She's soft like her love.
My mom is everything, and I don't know what I'd do without her.
Softland, fragrance of a mother's love.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Last play, Harry picks it up, he scampers towards the goal line, he gives a pass to Stefano. This is a masterclass from the Melbourne captain. And they have prevailed in an absolute epic here at Allianz.
Thanks for staying with us. Members of Parliament today debated the amendments to Land Act of 1996, which was introduced by the Minister for Lands, Planning and Urbanization and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso. The amendment would apply to customary land use, especially for commercial purposes.
Members of Parliament debated the amendment of the Land Act 1996. Minister for Lands, Planning and Urbanization and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso introduced the bill which targets the use of customary land for commercial purposes. NCD Governor Paul Espakop affirmed a proposal by Member for Hiri Koyari about a penalty clause to be included in the Act. The penalty would apply to the person who sells the customary land as well as the one who knowingly purchased the land. Thus, Mr. Pakop suggested that the government must be proactive.
One needs to be proactive. I think our people want to support the government, support development. But you mean not proactive? So all stop now, all thinking now. Me by selling ground here, because they have no other ways of income. The other thing too that Mr. Speaker, or Assistant Speaker may like mentioning is that even though this Land Act only covers 3% of the land in PNG, but now you may talk about customary land, but the fact of the matter is that we are accessing customary land through other acts, like Mining Act or Forestry Act or whatever, Agriculture Act. Or, you may got this special mining list when I'm logging whatever permit. So
he added that customary land ownership is not an impediment to development, and it shows that if investors negotiate with landowners, they will cooperate with the government and developers, but they must be given all the pros and cons of development in order for them to make a conscious decision. Pakop said the government should not be in a rush to convert
customary land into state land or into lease, but emphasized ongoing discussions with the landowner. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
Papua New Guinea is making history by co-hosting exercise Talisman Sabre 2025, Australia's largest and most advanced military exercise, for the very first time.
The multinational defense training, which began integration activities on July 16, has now entered its tactical phase with military forces operating in Wewak and Lae. Troops from Papua New Guinea, Australia and the United States are conducting joint air, land and maritime maneuvers along with a complex joint personnel recovery exercise, simulating search and rescue missions in operational environments. The training is part of a broader effort to boost regional security and defense cooperation. Over 40,000 military personnel from 19 partner nations, including Japan, Canada, the UK, India and others, are involved in this year's exercise, while Malaysia and Vietnam are attending as observers. This marks a significant step forward for PNG's defense force, which is increasingly playing a vital role in regional security partnerships.
In regional news, pediatric rheumatologists are warning a national shortage of specialists is leaving thousands of children with juvenile arthritis living in pain. A Commonwealth inquiry 3 years ago called for a dramatic increase to clinicians in the field. And while some progress has been made, advocates say education and training isn't on track to help meet the target.
Visual artist Sinead was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis at 9 years of age.
I had to take almost an entire term off school, spent most of those days in my bed.
The inflammatory autoimmune condition affects around 6,000 Australian children under the age of 16.
Attacks the joints and the eyes and sometimes the skin and internal organs.
Sinead was lucky to get a quick diagnosis, but the average time is 10 months.
10 months is way too long. We should be seeing children within a month or two.
Early diagnosis is critical to keeping that window of opportunity to try and beat the disease into remission so the joints stay healthy and they avoid lifelong pain and disability.
In 2021, there were less than 10 paediatric rheumatologists working full-time in Australia. A year later, a federal inquiry recommended the number of clinicians triple by 2030. Recent data shows the number has increased to 27 specialists, but most of those positions aren't full-time.
Is far too small a number to be able to provide the kind of care that now within the 21st century ought to be routine.
Specialist training takes several years, and until recently, most trainees had to go overseas.
There has been a block on people wanting to go and do that training because it's pretty onerous to then move your whole family abroad for a year or 2 years.
The Federal Health Department says it provides $180 million a year for training across all specialist areas, including paediatric rheumatology. It says it's looking into training needs and undertaking supply and demand modelling, which will be complete by the end of the year. Paediatric rheumatologists have welcomed the review, but are concerned children are slipping through the cracks while they wait for action.
Health inspectors have closed more ACT businesses in the past 12 months than the previous 4 years combined, but there is no public register for people to find out which have been closed.
Restaurateurs know keeping customers happy is a key ingredient to good business. And so when it comes to food safety, cleanliness is a priority.
And as part of what you do for the community and what you serve, being clean is the utmost importance.
Last financial year, inspectors handed prohibition orders to 26 businesses, requiring them to close until they pass another inspection. The previous year, there were just 7, despite a similar number of inspections. For Alex Nachera, keeping a clean slate is essential.
You want to make sure that the food is obviously in date, it's being respected and prepared properly, and then cooked properly and served properly.
Food safety inspections are conducted regularly, often unannounced. In the 4 years Mr Nachera has run his Hackett business, he's had just 1 visit from an inspector.
If there's a pattern, well then obviously those places should be looked at. But I don't believe the ones that are doing the right thing should be constantly looked at either.
The ACT government hasn't said why there's been a surge in prohibitions, but says businesses are closed when they present an imminent and significant risk to public health, or if they've repeatedly broken the rules. Though unlike New South Wales, there's no public register for breaches.
If it's somewhere you wish to eat at or shop at, you don't know what the problem is. If we moved across the border into Queanbeyan or Yass, where we're in New South Wales, they have the name and shame list.
It'd be good to know, for sure, so you can stay away from them.
If you're putting people's lives at risk, being sick, gastro, etc., why not advertise to people not to go there?
If the inspectors go there and have breached it, little sticker on the front of the door telling us, this is a healthy place.
For businesses, a simple solution is to toe the line.
Unless it's to a massive cost that's unattainable, it's not hard to comply.
A recipe for success.
Electric vehicle sales are surging to record highs, driven by more choice and lower prices. New vehicle emission standards, which came into force this month, are also expected to increase EV sales. And the market leader, Tesla, is already facing serious competition from newcomers.
Competition for a slice of the local electric vehicle market is going into overdrive.
Next year, 70 new models hit the market and new brands come to market as well.
At this EV show in Melbourne, the buzz is evident.
Low maintenance, low operating cost.
We still have a bit of range anxiety. I'm happy with going with an EV. I don't need to ever go to a petrol station anymore.
In June, EVs accounted for a record 10.3% of all new car sales in Australia. Add in plug-in hybrids and they made up more than 15%. Some EVs sell for around $30,000. Affordability is set to accelerate as car makers avoid penalties introduced this month to reduce vehicle emissions.
If they don't meet those sales number or those emissions standard, then they have to pay another car maker credits, and they'd rather keep the money themselves, and even if they have to take a bit of a loss on their own car, they'd probably prefer to get that out of the door.
Tesla still dominates EV sales, but if you include plug-in hybrids, BYD outsold Tesla in the first half of 2025. EV owners may soon face new taxes, though, with the federal government saying a road use charge to replace the fuel excise is inevitable. There's also talk of reviewing the fringe benefits tax exemption for EVs. This car maker says instead tax breaks for utes should be scrapped.
That's an exemption that's been afforded to those vehicles since 1986 and cost taxpayers billions of dollars. It makes far more sense to put those subsidies against vehicles that are going to create cleaner air.
Removing some roadblocks.
Turning back home, tsunami alerts have been issued for the New Guinea Islands region, including Madang and East and West Sepik, following a magnitude 8.8 quake that struck Russia this morning. The coastal areas of PNG are advised to be on high alert as tsunami warnings are issued across the Pacific and Japan.
The Department of Mineral Policy and Geohazard Management issued an information bulletin today saying an earthquake struck the east coast of Kamchatka Peninsula, Russia, on Wednesday, July 30th at 9:26 a.m. PNG time. The quake in the North Pacific Ocean region has generated ocean-wide tsunami. The Port Moresby Geophysical Observatory, under the Department of Mineral Policy and Geohazard Management, says the tsunami is anticipated to reach the coastal areas of Manus Island, New Britain Island, Autonomous Region of Bougainville, Madang, East and West Sepik provinces today between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Tsunami warnings have been issued across the Pacific, with Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands expecting their first waves at 2:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Palau, the Kingdom of Tonga, Hawaii and American Samoa are also on alert. Japan's meteorological agency has also issued a tsunami alert for its northern coast areas, warning them to expect waves of up to 3 meters. The Port Moresby Geophysical Observatory has directed responsible PNG government agencies to take action to inform and instruct any coastal populations at risk to move to high ground or further inland and avoid going to the coast at this time. The U.S. Geological Survey had initially recorded the quake at a depth of 19.3 kilometers with a magnitude of 8.7, later revising that reading to 8.8. Kamala Guare, TVWAN News.
That's the news segment. In sports, Timothy Tuna representing PNG at World Championships in Japan, and PNG RFL supports inclusivity. Stay tuned.
Brush to the beat with Colgate for healthy teeth. Brush twice a day for 2 minutes, that's all you need. Brush to the Colgate beat. Come on now everybody, join in on the fun for long-lasting healthy teeth. 2 minutes of brushing twice a day, bright smiles, bright futures with Colgate. Brush to the Colgate beat. Come on now everybody, join in on the fun for long-lasting healthy teeth.
Rugby league is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG-LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime.
I'm community blue. When it's on you welcome, I'm come up community. You must all community.
When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
Long year 2024, 7 pa baby I born one time HIV. HIV I can go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama I get HIV, long time long carrying baby, na time baby I susu. Tasol Yumi can help him bel mama, long look out him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bel mama clinic, na kiss him antenatal check. Time Yumi pan him sick HIV ariap, o time bel mama I positive penis, early treatment I can save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV I go long baby. This lutok sawa I come long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Mr. Russell, memang isim-isimnya sabung ini.
You survey yourself, you can put in one per complaint.
I'm not giving big the heavy. Online by doctor. Nah, also one I'm supposed me on kata sorry kisimeli.
You think him go through Sam, you like putting this plus sexual harassment report on Mr. Russell.
Who said you making this black complaint?
Joining BCFW now member blog ni plan na stand up strong against workplace harassment.
Thanks for staying with us. Sprinter Timothy Tuna has been selected to represent Papua New Guinea at the World Championships to be held in Tokyo in September. Tuna will run the 200-meter at the championships, the event in which he broke the national record twice this year.
A product of the National Sports Institute Athletics Development Program, Timothy Tuna first made his mark internationally at the 2024 Oceania Championships, where he won the bronze medal in a competitive 200-meter event. His time of 21.32 seconds in the semi-final was a sign of good things to come, and he smashed the national record in April with a time of 20.75 seconds before improving this to 20.64 seconds on May 1st. Tuna continued his fine form at the Pacific Mini Games in Palau, pushing Pies Vizil to the line in the 100-meter and dominating the 200-meter to win gold. Athletics PNG President Tony Green said PNG has a quota of only one athlete, and the decision on who to select this year was difficult, as there was almost nothing between Tuna and Whistle in terms of performance. Green said based on the quality of performances in their respective events, world rankings, and how they have performed in major competitions, Tuna was chosen for the championship. Tuna will return to school in New Mexico by mid-August and is expected to travel to Tokyo in September. Tuna will run in the 200-meter heats on September 17 and the semi-final the following day. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Women's Rugby League in the country is on an upward trajectory, highlighted by the first ever National Women's Rugby League competition, the Santos Cup in 2024. This year marks its second year running with stakes high for the 6 existing franchise teams to go one better.
Speaking as special guest at last night's season launch of the Santos Cup, Australian High Commissioner Evan McDonnell was honoured to be part of the journey by supporting current and future female athletes to excel in rugby league. The High Commissioner expressed sincere gratitude to Santos, the naming rights sponsor of the Women's National Rugby League competition, for its unwavering commitment in making the Santos Cup an exceptional event for the second consecutive year.
My point of view, to launch the second Santos Cup 2025 in this Golden Jubilee year for Australia, it's fantastic that we're part of this, to support this fantastic Santos Cup. And of course, many of you would have heard me talk about You Me Stop One Time, and that's all about this year's Jubilee, and that will appear on all the jumpers of all the teams that are participating this year, all the franchises.
Commissioner McDonnell went on to reflect on the recent match between the PNG women's team and the Australian Defence Force women's team. He said it was a privilege to present medals to the PNG players who showcased remarkable talent and camaraderie.
Congratulations to last year's champions, Daroga, Lahinis. Now that cup looks pretty good to me. I'd like to win that cup. And I must say, I wanted to give the extra congratulations tonight to Rutha Omanefa for becoming the first female head coach in the Santos Cup. And
the experience of playing at an elite level, adjusting to travel, and competing across various venues is not just about sport, it is a journey of personal empowerment. He said witnessing the emergence of women leaders in sport is a testament to our commitment to progress not only in rugby league but also in our broader society. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Santos National Football Stadium was abuzz last night as major sponsors, franchise teams, special guests, friends and media gathered to mark the launch of the 2025 edition of the National Women's Rugby League competition, the Santos Cup. The big kickoff this weekend will feature the 6 returning franchise teams.
Among the dignitaries present were His Excellency Evan McDonnell, the Australian High Commissioner, East Liberton Provincial Member Michael Marum, PNG NRL Franchise CEO Andrew Hill, PNG Hunters CEO Scott Parker, and PNG RFL Director Lorna McPherson, alongside former PNG International Justin Olam, who all added prestige to the evening. The event commenced with the introduction of the captains from each of the participating clubs, Warriors, the Baris Eagles, Tigers, Vipers, and defending premiers Lahanis, bringing the cup back with them. In his welcome address, Santos Country Chair and naming rights sponsor Leon Baskins expressed enthusiasm and confidence in elevating the women's competition to new heights in 2025 after its inauguration last year. He emphasized the importance of women's rugby league in promoting inclusivity and positivity, transforming the lives of women and girls in communities.
And many of you know when we first started playing here and sponsoring here, the women, they used to be booed. And from changing that to now being cheered, that's changing mindset, that's changing behavior. So you all are an important part of that journey. Just want to acknowledge that. Of course, for us, since apart from sponsoring this stadium, this top-class, world-class stadium here, we put in 12 million. It's a number, those of you like numbers, 12 million in women's sports, especially in rugby league.
Reflecting on the journey since the 50th anniversary of independence, Baskins noted significant shifts in attitudes and perceptions surrounding women's sports.
I'd like to commend 36 of the coaching staff, management, 7 were females. As I said, 1 was head coach. You all are, as Rona said, you all is in changing that mindset. Again, recognizing our country and our women and girls. In over 22 provinces, 5 are also matrilineal. I happen to come from one of them, I think Governor Maro. Super Coach happens to come from one of those provinces also.
The captains of the 6 franchise clubs expressed their excitement and readiness to embrace the new season.
Commitment, the training, illegal sentence of fixing the community. Start playing 2019, now almost at least second year doing the play. Yeah, second season over our teams and hope for prepare outcome hard. So just for myself, I got to work for team doing it must prepare and hopefully when we come out to the second season December.
Last year, like when they been in that team, but for this year, I'm in that team, so like it depends on the preparation and the come to us. So
community from me out started by the rugby fields, so go follow field.
Meanwhile, Baskins acknowledged the PNG RFL for their partnership in supporting women's rugby league and wishing all the 6 franchise teams the best of luck for the Santos Cup 2025. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Speaking on behalf of the PNG RFL board at the launch of the 2025 Santos Cup last night, Director Lorna McPherson was honored to address the event, using her charisma and love for the game, and is excited for the upcoming second edition of the Santos Cup competition, which kicks off this weekend.
PNG Rugby Football League Director Lorna McPherson said the tournament not only provides a vital platform for talented female athletes in Papua New Guinea, but also inspires the next generation of girls and women. She urged the girls to keep pushing forward, to dream big, and to pursue their goals in sport and beyond.
You know, team, you are the pioneers. You're the role model girls, and you're the heartbeat of this competition. As you take the field this weekend and in the weeks ahead, know that you carry with you the hopes of the communities, the pride of your provinces, and the admiration of fans right across the nation.
When giving an overview of the progress of the women's game, McPherson said there is a high expectation this year for the existing 6 teams: the Baris, Warriors, Lahanis, Eagles, Vipers, and Tigers.
I extend our heartfelt congratulations to everyone who's made this possible. We're really proud to stand with you and we look forward to witnessing the passion, the skill, the sportsmanship that will define the Santos Cup this season. Let the games begin, and may this be the first of many, many more seasons to come.
McPherson urged the teams to represent their province with pride and passion. She encourages all players to embrace the role of sportsmanship as true role models, emphasizing that their dedication and performance on the field will win the admiration of the next generation who will aspire to follow their footsteps. The launch of the Santos Cup is a testament to the immense investment and hard work that have gone into ensuring that the women's game continues to thrive and evolve. It is a unifying force that brings the communities and the nation together. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That's the sports segment. First up in weather, a reminder that tsunami alerts have been issued for the New Guinea Islands region, including Madang and East and West Sepik, following a magnitude 8.8 quake that struck Russia this morning. The Port Moresby Geophysical Observatory under the Department of Mineral Policy and Geohazards Management has advised responsible agencies to instruct residents from the threatened coastal areas to move further inland. Now the weather.
Tsunami alerts have been issued for the New Guinea Islands region, including Madang and East and West Sepik, following a magnitude 8.8 quake that struck Russia this morning. The Port Moresby Geophysical Observatory under the Department of Mineral Policy and Geohazards Management has advised responsible agencies to instruct residents from the threatened coastal areas on Manus Island, New Britain, Autonomous Region of Bougainville, Madang, East and West Sepik provinces to move further inland. Southern Port Moresby, partly cloudy with possible few showers. Alotau, cloudy periods with rain showers. Momasep, Ley, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Wewak, cloudy periods with heavy showers, rain and thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Kavieng, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kimbe, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Highlands, Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with heavy showers and thunderstorms. Coral Sea, seas slight to moderate with southeast to easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, seas slight with southeast to easterly winds of 10 to 15 knots. Bismarck Seas, seas slight with southeast winds to northwest winds of 5 to 15 knots. And Pacific Ocean, seas slight to moderate with northeast to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Waters of Fincher Fen through VTS Dampier Strait to CSE Island to Long Island, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kerema, to Port Moresby to Hood Point to Samara Islands, and waters of Samara Island to Cape Bogle and all Milne Bay Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Kikori to Kerema to Yule Island to Port Moresby, and waters of north of Cape Bogle to Huon Gulf to Fincher Fen, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters.
That ends this edition of TV1 News. Thanks for joining us. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.